So here we are again to have that political conversation. I mean, it's a current affairs prog show, the segments that allows for you to talk into matters that concern the Nigerian polity, as well as add your voice loudly and clearly in the arena of politics and speak truth to power without any bias whatsoever. This is Eagle's Outlook, where we talk politics and current affairs. My name is Udwag Daniel, as you know, and we will engage very quickly in the discourse. Now, EFCC to grill Malami as probe may open Buhari era asset recovery deals to fresh scrutiny. So, a former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami San, says he has been invited by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. And quite a number of persons have seen this move that as one that could reopen long-standing questions around asset recovery, seized assets disposals, and contracts approval handled during the Buhari administration. So Malami is revealing this, and as he personally signed and shared on his Facebook page wall, reaffirming his readiness to honor the invitation. Now, he has gone on further to maintain that his public service record has always been shaped by accountability and transparency. Now, he stressed that the ideals of openness and responsible governance have guided his conduct over the years, and that it is undisputed. Now, remember, these are his words, and I quote, it says, "I understand the spirit of accountability and transparency in public service, the principles that I both advocate and champion." And that's what he says. And he says, "This is to also confirm that the EFCC have invited me. As a law-abiding and patriotic citizen, I hereby reaffirm my commitments to honor that invitation." All right, that is Malami right there, a former ex-AGF or ex-AGF, if you like, putting his voice on the ground and saying that, look, I will indeed honor the invitation. But yeah, $310 million Abacha loot recovery probe by EFCC, baseless, illogical. Malami is also saying that. Well, as a law-abiding citizen, we also expect that, okay, you will also get to respond to us, Malami. Tell us what exactly is going on with the alleged $310 million Abacha loot recovery. All right, because this topic of discussion or discourse is surrounding around and about 310, a whopping $310 million Abacha loot recovery. No, not Abacha loot unfound, not Abacha loot evaporated. No, Abacha loot recovery. In other words, these monies hit the Nigerian economy. Bam, bim. That's what the money did. All right. So where exactly is it? Is the probe by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the response of the Attorney General, former Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, to the allegations. That's what we're looking at. Now, recall that in November of 2025, the EFCC invited Malami for questioning over alleged abuse of office and money laundering that is linked to the recovery of $310 million Abacha loots, which had accrued interest to $322.5 million. Now, Malami is a senior advocate of Nigeria, right? And he described the allegations as baseless, illogical, and lacking in substance. To look at the English right there. And that he stated that the EFCC's claims were an attempt to portray a lawful recovery process as duplication. Wow. That's something. Yeah. Now, the Abacha loot recovery is a significant case in Nigeria. For those of you who probably were not born then, or you were just born, you're still a baby, you didn't understand it. And for some of us who had grown at least to an age of understanding as to what's going on, knowing the value of the Nigerian currency at the time, the Abacha loot becomes very significant as especially Nigeria's efforts to recover stolen assets. Yeah. Now, recall that Sani Abacha, who was a former Nigerian head of state, was accused of embezzling billions of dollars during his rule from 1993 to 1998, and that's November 1993. Okay, so the current administration has been working to recover these stolen assets. I mean, administrations upon administrations have been coming in and going out, and they've always told us how the Abacha loot has been yielding income, or has been yielding interests in banks across the world, especially Swiss and the United States of America. Now, in 2016, the Buhari administration invited negotiations to recover the Abacha loot, all right? And in 2017/2018, $322.5 million was repatriated. In other words, sent back to us from Switzerland and deployed to conditional cash transfers under World Bank monetary transparency mechanisms. Now, another tranche of about $321 million was recovered from Jersey in 2020, earmarked for major infrastructure projects. All right. So Abubakar Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, was invited now by the EFCC on November 28th of 2025 for questioning. Tell us. Hello? The questioning is over alleged abuse of office and money laundering linked to the recovery of $310 million Abacha loot. But Malami has given us all the English that we can understand. Illogical, he says it's illogical, it's baseless, that they are just mere allegations. And he stated that the recovery process was transparent and lawful. There was no duplicity, right, whatsoever as to what they're trying to paint him to be now. Oh, but yeah, we have a guest who's going to be joining us in a short bit now. He is Comrade Gerald Okachi. He is a human rights activist, a public affairs commentator, as well as a social analyst and a conflict resolution expert. Comrade Gerald Okachi, welcome to the discourse this morning, and good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you. Thank you for having me, and good morning to our followers.
Right. Well, Comrade Gerald Okachi, let's look into the matter already. A matter that concerns $310 million Abacha loot recovery probe by EFCC becoming so baseless, becoming so illogical, becoming, serving as though is an allegation against him, trying to make it seem as though there is duplicity, in the recovery and all of that. Malami is saying that, former Attorney General of the Federation. Does this have implications to Nigeria? And what would be your take on this topical discourse this morning?
Thank you for the question. When former Attorney General of the Federation, that's Abubakar Malami, dismisses the EFCC investigations into the $210 billion Abacha loot recovery as baseless and illogical, these statements raises three major issues, and that is credibility, precedent, and public perception. Malami's tenure was surrounded by allegations. Even if Malami has not been convicted of any crime, he left office with multiple unresolved allegations, which includes abuse of office, interference with high-profile corruption cases, questionable handling of recovered funds, award of multi-billion naira contracts to associates, use of his office to influence state-level political structures. So by calling the EFCC probe illogical, Malami is attempting to frame the investigation as politically motivated.
Right.
But this overlooks the fact that his records in office already created grounds for suspicion. Nigeria's political climate has often seen former officials call investigations witch hunts as a standard defense. This is a pattern, not an exception. So, if you look at the historical pattern, you can reference this to many high-profile cases like Desiani, like Namadi Sambo, like even a recent one, Godwin Mefele, the former CBN governor. Yeah. So Malami dismissive tune mirrors the earlier position that you can link a reference with Godwin Mefele, who boldly claimed innocence, said he would defend every allegation in court, insisted that accusations were based on politics, carried himself with confidence that nothing incriminating would be found. Yet, In Godwin Emefiele's case, the investigation letter uncovered extensive infractions involving illegal financial transactions, abuse of monetary policy authority, questionable procurement practices, the controversial Naira redesign project. Emefiele went from boasting of innocence to being publicly indicted, detained, and formally charged. So, in Nigeria, loud denials by powerful officials do not guarantee innocence. Sometimes they precede damning revelations. So, Malami response therefore fits into the same defensive pattern seen with the many high-profile cases. So, whenever EFCC, do investigation to former power brokers or former office holders, in most cases, these individuals typically argue that EFCC has ulterior motives. New administration is seeking scapegoats. Their actions are lawful and transparent. Some even will go as far as claiming that they are victims of political vendetta. But the real issue is this. The EFCC rarely initiates proofs of former top officials unless substantial question exists. So in the case of the Abacha 310 million recovery loot,
yes,
which was already controversial because Nigeria signed agreements requiring full transparency. There were allegations of double payments and duplicate consultancy fees. Civil society organizations flag inconsistencies that we have seen why those money were being recovered. Given this existing concern, the EFCC proof cannot be dismissed as baseless. So, Nigeria no longer accepts this blanket denial. Public trust in former government officials has eroded for a very long time, dramatically, due to the scale of corruption uncovered in the last decades. Repeated denials followed by letter confessions or evidence. Even some will go as far as trying to do plea bargain. The belief that high-profile actors use public office for personal gain. So when Malami said the investigation is illogical, the public hears defensiveness, not truth.
All right, let me come in there. I mean, now, one of the things that has been said about that money was the fact that these monies were put into conditional cash transfers, and that is for Nigerians' benefit, right? And then it makes us also want to begin to mirror into the processes of disbursement of conditional cash transfers. I think that becomes, the bottleneck or the bottom line or the angle that we should focus on, don't you think? And then, because it does seem as though Malami, of course, who has been one holding a position of upholding the law and justice, seems to be very confident in himself. I mean, there is the place of it talking about transparency, lawfulness of the recovery process and all of that, stating that the EFC's allegation were political witch hunt and expressing confidence that the investigation would vindicate him. Don't you also see that there might be maybe another agenda against Malami himself? Because he said these monies have been put into conditional cash transfers.
Just like I said, it's not a pattern that is new to us. It's a pattern that we have already known. Deny first, attack investigators, frame it as politics, question motive, then attempt to escape scrutiny. You recall that there was a time in fact, Malami and this Hadi Sareka, many of them, the one that is in the humanitarian, are one of the disasters of late former President Muhammad Buhari, who did a lot of things that, once you open it to the public, you begin to shed tears. Even the ones that you see as a corrupt official will look like saints. When you compare Malami's current stance with the rules extracted from the pension controversy, the picture becomes clearer. You understand? He has been repeatedly accused of interfering with high-profile corruption cases. Take, for example, in the minor matter.
Yeah.
Malami allegedly, as they claim, moved case files, controlled prosecution, influenced judicial outcome, protected the real culprits. And this is the same concern EFCC is raising over Abacha loot group. that Malami circumvented procedures, concern recovery details, and interfered with the due process. So you don't begin to claim that it's entered into cashless conditional cash transfer. That was the same pattern we had when we had lockdown in 2020. Where humanitarian minister will begin to tell Nigerians that he was feeding, if not thousands, maybe millions of Nigerian out of school children. I mean, school children, amidst lockdown. You understand? And then when they were doing this conditional cash transfer, we are asking who and who. Then I ask you, throughout the tenure of late President Muhammad Buhari, have you ever heard either on the streets, neighborhood, in anywhere of your endeavors, that you hear someone that knows someone that claimed that he benefited from the conditional cash transfer?
Well, I don't know. Never heard, never seen.
That is as simple as that, And what goes around comes around. The world is a small world place that there's no way rain will drop from the sky on earth that the ground will not know. You understand? Okay. So he has been accused of benefiting from diverted assets. For example, there are groups that even claim that his undoings is one of the major causes of the killings of the Brigadier General, that is Abacha, that was killed a few weeks ago. We are in around March 2021 or thereabouts. He made claims that over 800 financiers of terrorism and Boko Haram, what have you, have been tracked, and their accounts have been blocked. There were a lot of claims that he made that not even one person was prosecuted. There were also alleged accusations against him that some of the corruption or maladministration or looting he entered into, he used it to open university in KB, school in KB, hotels, and a lot of properties. In fact, in the case of Minor, they claim that they recovered over 227 properties, and they couldn't account for it. So there were a lot of things. If you begin to go into it, it will make even the Godwin MFL to look like a set. There were cases of missing documentations, mismanagement, unaccounted sum, unauthorized disbursements. These similarities raise public suspicion. In this another case where funds recovered by government were not properly accounted for. There's this issue of alleged hostility to whistleblowers and reformers. The same pattern we saw seen with a minor, where at the end of the day he was jailed with fictitious claim, whereas civil society who have gone into research into the matter have discovered that it's not even signatory to what he was acclaimed, the 2.1 billion that he was accused. So denying the Abacha loot group while carrying heavy allegation weakening his position. Malami assertion that EFCC proof is illogical becomes harder to sustain when there are unanswered questions about his handling of many cases. I stated minor. There are allegations of diversion of recovered assets. There is a documented pattern of interfering in high-profile recoveries. His name repeatedly appears in corruption-related controversies. So it's not new if we begin to claim you after all. If Godwin Emefiele is not in detention, probably he will hide under one of the political parties or join the new realignment with regards to ADC and claim witch hunting.
Right. Well, let's
claim vendetta. Yeah. Because that is the pattern.
Yeah, let's put a peg to your thoughts. Open the phone lines. Get to hear what the family members got to say. Want to join the discourse this morning now? Have your 2 cents in the discourse. 0907-353-0044 is the number. 0908-766-8888. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Comrade Baseless. I'm calling for Slick.
All right, Comrade, talk to us. Very quickly and straight to the point. Time is not on our side.
Yeah, for me, Malami is a Nigeria.
Okay.
And a whole Nigeria power before or office before. But what I see is that the EFCC They are not doing their homework. When EFCC do their homework, you cannot invite somebody that you have facts on the ground to arrest the person. When EFCC is doing their homework, it's not to invite somebody first and begin to ask questions. Before I ask questions, there is facts on ground. See what you have done. Since our money has diverted to account, so as the money diverted to your family account. See a point, all the points are on ground. That before you call Malami, what do you defend? You want to hear me smart to just make trick to us as you like and go? This is not way to fight crime. This is not how to fight corruptions. Corruption will be fight and show the evidence to proof and take the face to court.
All right.
And arrest the immediately.
All right.
All we are seeing is a play game. They are not doing the right something to do.
Okay.
Let the USC sit them and do the right thing.
Appreciate that.
Some of our money has survived for many companies in this country. Yeah, they're using the company now in the whole country to divert our money to the foreign land. And they are not doing the right thing.
Okay, comrade.
Let the USC just do the needful and do the right thing, please. Thank you.
All right. Comrade right there says let the EFCC do the right thing already. Okay. So in fact, Comrade Salisu is already smelling a rat. I mean, it seems as though these politicians who have been invited for questioning will only pay lip service, and the EFCC or the ICPC or whatever agency it is probably playing eye service. All right, while the other one is playing lip, the other one is playing eye. Hello, good morning.
I'm Chimeze calling from National Hospital.
Right, Chimeze, welcome. Talk to us.
Thank you. You did talk about Malami, the welcome development.
Right.
Please, wherever Obla is, or Kon Obla, whatever his name is, he should come out. This man, Abubakar Malami, for 3-4 years now, he should tell Nigerians how come he has the biggest, almost the biggest rice mill in Kebbi State.
The biggest what? Biggest what? Rice mill?
I said rice mill.
Rice, okay.
Mill,
Rice
yes.
mill. Okay, go ahead.
In Kebbi State. This man reeks of corruption. Abubakar Malami not only tampered with diversion of illegally acquired or acquired properties and money, he equally tampered with the judiciary justice system. Malami will explain to Nigerians how he was able to summon 5 service chiefs because of Nnamdi Kanu that Court of Appeal released. Okay? He upset that, forced the judiciary to do their bidding because he believed he was in power. Malami should equally account for the transfer of cash to helpless or low-earning Nigerians. Let them come up with the list, not INEC list. And this is an open warning to the present Minister of Finance, Wale Edu. We have about 300 billion naira you have not accounted for. That money has to be accounted for. Okay. These people are all lucky because a Nigerian that is deregionalized, detribalized, a proper Nigeria has not come to power. I really wonder what Malami has to say. And again, it's EFCC. Please, you have called Malami. I believe that investigative bodies, once they are called, you present the person with the allegation. The next day, the person is taken to court. You called him and has given him room to go and prepare. It's not how to do it.
Exactly. It's been released, though.
Fine.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
They should have, even after concluding the investigation, once he's called, he's not allowed to get a lawyer. The next day, he's taken to court. As for Malami, Malami, you will not go free. Or come Obla, please speak up.
Okay.
This man, sorry to use the word, messed up Nigeria in all ramifications. After being left of power, the fourth case he took up was that of OKC Ipazu against the incumbent governor of Abia State, Toti, meaning he wants to take us back. But God has got them, and he continues to catch all of them. Or call Obla, wherever you are, come up with those petitions because we have many. I am going to petition against this man. I have the facts.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Chimeze, appreciate that. Right, there's so much going on already, and as I always tell us Nigerians, we know. But anyways, let's get back with our dear guest, Comrade Gerald. Comrade Gerald, are you there? You heard what the family members have saying or are saying and all of that. It does seem as though our eyes seem to be open to the truth, and quite a number of family members are concerned with the way our investigative processes is going in this country. It is not adequate enough to handle some of these, so to speak, fat cows or sacred cows within the parameters of power who have served or who are still serving. Do you agree with that?
To start with, I have listened to family members. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I think EFCC is doing a fantastic job, and they are following the most professional.
Okay, so we just lost that connection with Comrade Gerald right there, but we'll try to do our bit to get back with him in a short bit, right? But keep it in check. This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yes, we'll give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. We'll just head out now, pay some bills. We'll be right back when we do. We believe that all of these would have been fixed, and the conversation will indeed trend.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
As the gong takes sound like this, destinies go wake up. This December, make you get ready for better Tori Power Day. Unity can join. Even the spirit will can join all of us together as one people. Carosia Studios, they bring when the gong sounds again. One correct stage play. We get music, gon' get dance, drama self join. Something where Abuja never take eyes see before. Then the feature, DK Chukwumerije, Francis Duru, and other actors with Sabi Walk. Now December 6th for BMO Event Center, Wuse 2 Abuja, red carpet na 4 p.m. The main show they start by 6 p.m. No dolo. Oh yeah, wrong. Go grab your ticket sharp. Before you finish, enter online. Go www.wtgsagain.com or you fit scan the QR code from our social media handles. Or if you want come book you fit call 0817-286-0722. When the gong sound again, your spirit go feel am.
Whether you're flying for a family celebration or a much-needed reunion, fly Emirates and start your holiday on board. Explore up to 6,500 channels of